reminded me of the tradition that our families shared of both our ancestors working together, joining hands, and being partners in leading the freedom movement and the movements, the memories of their association and things.
Tushar Gandhi, the great grandson of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, joined the Rahul Gandhi-led Bharat Jodo Yatra on November 18. The Congress party immediately seized on the symbolism of the great grandsons of two freedom fighters, Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru, walking together. Rahul Gandhi retweeted a post by the Bharat Jodo Yatra's Twitter handle that highlighted the powerful symbolism of the two walking together. The post also stated, following the path of Bapu is the only way to heal and unite the nation. Team Indian Express caught up with Tushar Gandhi to learn in detail about his experience.
One approached the yatra from the front and made one's way into the cordon and go in. And on the route, I saw that there was a lot of security measures, roads were being closed. What was heartening was to see ordinary people. Of course, there were cavalcades of VIPs trying to reach the yatra, but outnumbering them by far was the number of ordinary human beings who were trying to reach the starting point of the yatra by on foot, walking the last 5-6 kilometers to be able to be at the starting point when Rahul started walking for that day. And people were also lining up on both sides of the road, those who were not going to walk but who were there just to catch a glimpse of Rahul Gandhi walking in their neighborhood. And so I had the opportunity of observing all that, and it was a pretty electrifying atmosphere. There were social activists, there were people working in several social fields, there were ordinary people from the villages and towns around who had come. There were professionals. I even saw families rushing towards the starting point to join. The atmosphere was very electric, much before the march started. And so that was the first impression that I got as I waited for the march to reach the point where I was asked to wait so that it would be easier for me to go through the barricaded portion and then join up with Rahul. It was a poignant memory because it reminded me of the tradition that our families shared of both our ancestors working together, joining hands, and being partners in leading the freedom movement and the movements, the memories of their association and things. It felt as if, I was also, we, the two of us, were reliving the traditions, and the interactions were very casual, very non-formal. We did not discuss any political issues. We did not discuss any political strategies. We were talking about our ancestors, our legacy, and the importance of all that in the present situation, and how we could utilize those to face the current situation that we face in our nation today. And so that was basically, those were the topics that we discussed. I was pleasantly surprised that throughout the walk, Rahul insisted that I walk next to him, most of the time holding my hand while he was interacting with others. He was making sure that I didn't drift off, and I was close to him so that I could be brought back to be next to him as soon as he finished with the others whom he was interacting with. That was a pleasant surprise for me. I was reminded of the two parallels between the Bharat Jodo Yatra and how it was meandering through all sorts of localities, the completely rural settings of farmlands, barren lands, the forested lands, through villages, through hamlets, through all sorts of localities, and how Rahul was interacting with all of them. I saw him even jump out in the evening when we were going to the rally. He stopped his motorcade on the way and jumped out of the car and walked into a house where people had gathered in the balconies and on the terraces, and went and interacted with them impromptu. And even on the roadside, he pulled towards him some of the poorest of the poor people who were attempting to catch his eye. We've many a time seen that our prime minister travels to places in his cavalcade and things, and if he has to pass through shanties or localities of poor people, they build walls on both sides of the road, or they put up huge partitions on both sides of the road so that he doesn't have to look at the ugly and shabby dwellings of the poor. And I thought that was a stark difference between these two leaders. He's made it very clear that this yatra is for healing the scars of hate that have been inflicted on our society. It is being done by a party that participates in the electoral politics of our democracy, and so they must gain some advantage from it. I think Congress as a party will have to give a serious thought of how they are going to convert the goodwill that Rahul's Yatra is generating in the people so that it turns into electoral gains for them. I don't think Rahul is making an attempt directly for that. And that is admirable of him. But I think the Congress must have a plan if they want to, after the Yatra is over, to capitalize on the goodwill created by the Yatra.